Hello everyone, my name is CCG88 and welcome to episode 55 of the Refurbished Logo Evolution series. Today, we have a company which we have very limited information about. They are known for having a rather infamously scary logo across this community. I am on about Films Incorporated, or FI for short. There's so many things missing about FI, so listen carefully. Films Incorporated was an American 16mm film supplier. They would often distribute educational films to be used in classrooms and schools. They would later be purchased by a company called Public Media Incorporated, or PMI, and Films Inc. would close sometime in the 1980s or early 1990s. PMI would later be purchased and closed by Image Entertainment in 2005, which would be renamed to RLJ Entertainment in 2018. Everyone says that FI was based in Chicago, Illinois since their birth, but we simply don't know when that was. Most people say the 1940s or 1950s, but I found some evidence suggesting that the company could have been alive as early as 1936. Once more, the pictures from 1936 suggest that the company was also working in New York and was collaborating with all the major film studios at the time. On the back of the 1936 leaflet I found, it says, Films Incorporated is in its 9th year of fair prices and fair dealing. If the Films Incorporated company mentioned is the company we all know, that means FI could go all the way back to 1927, which is insane, but I'm not entirely sure. It makes sense though, since 16mm film was developed in 1923. Anyway, that's not what we're interested in today. We're here for their logos, and there are 5 of them. The first one we have footage of is this. It's called Glittering FI, and it was used from the 1940s to perhaps 1956. It's okay, I guess. I don't like how the place names faded in no particular order though. That film is incredibly old and hasn't aged well. A lot of 16mm film has been poorly preserved in the past, hence the scratches and distorted sound. You will see and hear a lot more of that as we progress through this video. Their second logo was called FI in a Box, and it was used from 1956 to 1967. There is a sepia-toned version or a colour version depending on how you look at it, which I couldn't find any footage for. This logo is definitely what I would call skeptical. Even though it was used for 11 years, I've only seen footage of it from one film from 1964. That's it. The video we have of it looks very impecunious and has undoubtedly been kept under appalling conditions. Still, at least we have some form of footage of it. In 1967 they had a bit of a rebrand and they created a new print logo which would become a familiar sight amongst fans of 16mm films. The first logo they had with this new FI symbol looked like this. We like to call it Tame Fi, and apparently it was used from 1967 to 1970. I have 5 variants. 3 have a coloured cross-stitched background. One has a black and white stitched background. And one has a plain coloured background. To be perfectly honest, I kind of like this logo. It's very forgettable like the previous lot, but the music is sort of nice to listen to and the animation isn't that bad for 1967. But, as some of you already know, this is nothing compared to what Films Inc. had as their 4th logo. What's on screen now has been placed into many scary logo compilations and lists. Welcome to the FI of Doom. It was in use from 1968 to 1989. I have 17 videos of this. The main focus of this logo is the background colour. 3 videos have a blue background. One has a purple background. One of them has a browny purpley background. Three have a strong brown colour. One is pure red. One is sepia toned and has a green background. Two are in colour with a black background. One is faintly cyan. And the remaining four are black and white. One is shorter and silent, and one is an in-credit variant. Some of the background colours might have changed over time because of deterioration. It's really easy to get loads of variants for this logo because every single fine is different due to them decaying. It's quite a popular logo in this community, to be fair, and I think you all know why that is. It's not that great for its time. I like the previous logo more for its simple yet more charming animation and sound. The flashing could trigger epileptic seizures. The music, if you can call it that, sounds so eerie and horrible. A school could have bought some of their films to watch with their class, and due to the flashing, someone might have had a seizure. And to think this was their longest used and most widely available logo doesn't add up well, especially when you consider the environment their films could have been played in. Still, we have one more logo to get through. Now, the CAG Wiki has an extra photo for this logo, and it's this one here. It turns out there are loads of different coloured variants for this too, so I decided to put it under its own logo. Let's call it Boring FI for now. I have no idea how long it was used for, but I can tell you it was used during the 1980s. I have 8 videos of this. We'll begin with this black background version. Three of the variants have a rich blue coloured background. Because of the decomposing film, the text colour would have been different. In this case, the first one is a yellowish white, and the other two are purely yellow. Two are on a turquoise-like background. One has yellow-white text and one has orange text. The last two are on a light blue background. One has some almost invisible yellow text and one has some more white text. There really isn't much to say about this intro since every single variant is still, but it's something at least. On the wider scale, their fourth logo is the only reason why people remember Films Incorporated. Perhaps there are more logos from them before the 1940s if the information about them from the 20s and 30s is true, but for now, I'm ending it here. Thank you very much for watching this episode. I really hope you enjoyed it, and I will see all of you in the next video. Goodbye!